What is India getting out of this recent Trump-Modi talks? It all looks like one-sided bullying. Okay, you're talking about the trade tariffs, right? What are your views on the recently concluded Modi-Trump and Modi-Musk meeting? What conclusions can we make from this meeting? What are your views and key takeaways of Mr. Modi's meeting with Mr. Macron and US ministers like Vance, Gabbard, Tulsi Gabbard, Elon Musk, and eventually Mr. Trump? Okay, so listen, I don't think it's all one-sided bullying. Of course, it's interesting that Mr. Trump announced those reciprocal uh, tariffs against the whole world just before his meeting with Mr. Modi. So it was a classic Trump move. The Art of the Deal. Where's the book? Somewhere around here. The Art of the Deal. Good book. So yeah, that makes it sound like one-sided bullying, but it's a great negotiating tactic. Okay. Um, Now, I will not deal with Mr. Modi's dealing with meeting with Mr. Macron here, but he met with Vice President Vance. Very nice meeting. Mr. Vance has a Indian family, right? His wife is Indian, kids are half Indian, so that's a nice connection to have. And Mr. Modi gave some gifts to Mr. Vance's kids. Mr. Modi met again with Miss Tulsi Gabbard. They know each other for more than a decade. Miss Gabbard, the first time she came to India, or for the first time Mr. Modi went there, I think Tulsi Gabbard presented Mr. Modi with her personal copy of the Bhagavad Gita. She's a Hindu Vaishnav, so they have a long-standing friendship with each other, let's say, and very warm relationship. So they met again, and Miss Tulsi Gabbard is now the director of the National Intelligence Agency. So she is the boss of all the intelligence agencies in the US. She's been confirmed. Very powerful position. So it was nice to meet her, I'm sure, for Mr. Modi. He met with Mr. Elon Musk, who came with his kids, which is kind of a power move to bring your kids to a big meeting, that sort of thing. And I'm not sure what transpired in that. I'm sure Elon Musk wants India to allow Starlink to beam into every home. I'm not sure what the situation is there on that. And I'm sure Mr. Modi must have urged Elon Musk to, launch Tesla in India and those gigafactories and all that. I'm not sure what transpired, but it was a reasonably friendly and warm meeting. And Elon Musk is obviously a very powerful man today. And then Mr. Modi met with Mr. Trump. Now, this was a good bilateral meeting. Many positives came out of it, no real negatives. Right. So, what are the things that that were discussed? So, first of all, the good thing for a change is that there was absolutely no talk of human rights and minority rights and all that nonsense. The Biden administration used to do that every time. I remember the first time Mr. Modi went to the US after the Biden administration came in, and he had this press conference or some press meet with Kamala Harris, and Miss Harris lectured Mr. Modi about human rights and all that in front of the press. Yeah. So this time there was no talk of human rights and minority rights, no lecturing. Right. The two nations have agreed to double bilateral trade, more than double bilateral trade. Right now, bilateral trade is about $130 billion a year. So by 2030, both nations have resolved that we will expand our bilateral trade, augment it to about $500 billion, $500 billion. So that's the objective, and we're going to work towards that. So that's a very positive outlook. Obviously, they've discussed addressing trade imbalances. India will now procure more oil and gas from the US. Yeah, there is a talk of defense cooperation and purchases. We're purchasing the Striker thing and some other stuff. There's a new 10-year framework for what we call the major defense partnership between the two nations. We're going to deepen our security cooperation in the Indo-Pacific region, which is a veiled reference to China. And India has assured the US will take back whatever illegal immigrants are there. We will take them back. No issues. We will not cause any problems. And Mr. Trump has claimed that India will be purchasing the F-35. Well, that remains to be seen. That remains to be seen. So that's the deal right now. Okay. So I think it was a very positive meeting. And I see this visit of Mr. Modi to the US, it was essentially a reconnection with Mr. Trump. It's about reconnecting, reviewing where we stand today, and agreeing on what needs to be done. and then the two nations will get to work. So this is just the beginning. And I think the next 4 years, India-US relations could reach the pinnacle, the greatest they have ever been. Mr. Modi and Mr. Trump, imagine them dancing hand in hand. That sort of thing could happen. How good it will be for India, we'll have to see, but the relations could be really good the next 4 years or so.